Chapter 1, Thought and Character. The aphorism, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, not only embraces the whole of a man's being, but is so comprehensive as to reach out to every condition and circumstance of his life. A man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all his thoughts. As the plant springs from and could not be without the seed, so every act of a man springs from the hidden seeds of thought, and could not have appeared without them. This applies equally to those acts called spontaneous and unpremeditated, as to those which are deliberately executed. Act is the blossom of thought, and joy and suffering are its fruits. Thus does a man garner in the sweet and bitter fruitage of his own husbandry. Thought in the mind hath made us. What we are by thought was wrought and built. If a man's mind hath evil thoughts, pain comes on him as comes the wheel the ox behind. If one endure in purity of thought, joy follows him as his own shadow. Sure, man is a growth by law and not a creation by artifice, and cause and effect is as absolute and undeviating in the hidden realm of thought as in the world of visible and material things. A noble and godlike character is not a thing of favor or chance, but it is the natural result of continued effort in right thinking. The effect of long cherished association with godlike thoughts. An ignoble and bestial character, by the same process, is the result of the continued harboring of groveling thoughts. Man is made or unmade by himself. In the harmony of thoughts, he forges the weapons by which he destroys himself. He also fashions the tools with which he builds for himself heavenly mansions of joy and strength and peace. By the right choice and true application of thought, man ascends to the divine perfection. By the abuse and wrong application of thought, he descends below the level of the beast. Between these two extremes are all the grades of character, and man is their maker and master. Of all the beautiful truths pertaining to the soul which have been restored and brought to light in this age, none is more gladdening or fruitful of divine promise and confidence than this, that man is the master of thought, the molder of character, and the maker and shaper of condition, environment, and destiny. As a being of power, intelligence, and love, and the lord of his own thoughts, man holds the key to every situation and contains within himself that transforming and regenerative agency by which he may make himself what he wills. Man is always the master, even in his weakest and most abandoned state. But in his weakness and degradation, he is the foolish matter who misgoverns his household. When he begins to reflect upon his condition and to search diligently for the law upon which his being is established, he then becomes the wise master, directing his energies with intelligence and fashioning his thoughts to fruitful issues. Such is the conscious master, and man can only thus become by discovering within himself the laws of thought, which discovery is totally a matter of application, self-analysis, and experience. Only by much searching and mining are gold and diamonds obtained, and man can find every truth connected with his being if he will dig deep into the mind of his soul. and that he is the maker of his character, the molder of his life, and the builder of his destiny. He may prove if he will watch, control, and alter his thoughts, tracing their effects upon himself, upon others, and upon his life and circumstances, linking cause and effect by patient practice and investigation, and utilizing his every experience, even to the most trivial, everyday occurrence, as a means of obtaining that knowledge of himself which is understanding, wisdom, power. In this direction, as in no other, is the law absolute that he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knoweth it shall be opened. For only by patience, practice, and ceaseless importunity can a man enter the door of the temple of knowledge. End of chapter 1. So, as we can see, the emphasis is really put on thoughts and how thoughts can create your reality. He also mentions importunity, which means to be bold, which means to not take no for an answer, also called brazen impudence, which is pretty much not to take no for an answer. And when we are disciplined enough to keep our thoughts in harmony with what we want, and we stop wavering, then we imprint our subconscious mind with a new belief, because the thoughts we keep for a while, we then become beliefs. Now, we do already have thoughts that are made to be believed inside, which is also called limiting beliefs if they are bad for you, and just beliefs, positive beliefs if you will, if they are good for you. So in order to remove those old negative beliefs who before were just old thoughts, you need to choose your thoughts carefully. Now, if you have a particular limiting belief, you need to choose a thought and replay it over and over again, with repetition, with meditation, in the state akin to sleep, before falling asleep, and throughout the day. Now, it might seem complicated, but it is a process. And because certain limiting beliefs are stronger than others, the ones who have been here for a while might take longer to remove. And not only they might take longer, but you also need to be consistent. You cannot expect to implant and impress your subconscious mind with one shot. So in order for you to change your limiting belief, you have to keep thinking the thoughts that you want. Now forget about limiting beliefs for a second. If you want to change your thoughts and beliefs and manifest certain things in life, you must choose only the thoughts that are aligned with what you want. Now you don't need to choose a bunch of them. Maybe you can choose one or two and play it over and over in your mind until you feel that you have impressed your mind. And generally speaking, your mind will be impressed when you no longer feel the need to think those thoughts, because those thoughts have become beliefs and they become natural and at the very least neutral. If you keep saying their thoughts and those thoughts triggers some negative emotions or negative counteracting thoughts about the affirmations thoughts you have chosen, then you might have to keep going until your thoughts have become facts, as Neville Goddard called it. So there you go. I don't want to make this too complicated because it's pretty straightforward and pretty simple. And this is just chapter 1. But already in the chapter 1, we see how important thoughts are to have the life one wishes to have. So thank you very much for listening. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you are on podcast, please just leave a review. Thank you so much, and I'll see you very soon.